Hi there! So you're probably wondering why you see my face in the corner of the screen there, but you are hearing a completely different voiceover. That's because I fully intended for this to be a video that I edited, like the Broforce video, but it turns out my laptop cannot handle having 2.5 hours of footage funneled into my editing software. It just can't deal with that many cuts or that many clips. So you're getting my unscripted and deeply unrehearsed voiceover of this. Now, warning ahead of time, I am not really a builder in The Sims. I don't consider myself a builder. I am a player, I guess. I like the gameplay aspect of The Sims. So the build isn't going to be that great. I'm already looking at the shell and thinking, God, it's ugly. But it kind of fits what I was doing. So I went into a couple of random generators before this, a random sim generator and a random number generator, to generate who I was making the house for, because I like making houses when I have kind of a story behind them. So for this one, I generated 2 sims, and I ended up getting a male child. Sorry, I was finding my notes there. I ended up getting a male child who likes art, wants to be a computer whiz, and has a crazy style. And his father, a male young adult, so a young dad, who wanted to be a good gardener. I think it's the freelance botanist lifetime goal, or whatever it's called in The Sims, I can't remember now. The real name escapes me. And the tech guru career. So about halfway through this, I think I had to quit out and come back in because there's a bug in The Sims that sometimes doesn't let you use the stairs on certain platforms. So I kept trying it as a platform. I tried it, you see me Googling it here, trying to figure out why it's not working, talking to my boyfriend. So I had to save, quit out to the world, and then come back in and the stairs would work again. So that is a little glitch that you sometimes get where it won't let you do stairs up to a platform or a porch. Like, I tried making it a platform, I tried making it a real porch, I tried making it a deck. It just would not work. Yeah, that isn't really a porch because it's not covered. A lot of this here is just me placing down random furniture to make it fit. This was actually a long rant, I remember this now. This was a long rant about not liking the couches. I wish we had modular couches or corner couches. But I ended up going with these 2. So the idea that I had with this house was I wanted it to be the house that a kind of a rich guy with very little taste would have, who was trying to make his house cooler than his wife so that his kid wants to come around and hang out, or his ex-wife, who wants to make it cooler so his kid will come around and hang out. That was me complaining about wanting to put something under the stairs and then figuring out that I needed a downstairs bathroom anyway. So I kind of jump around when I'm building a house like this. I won't kind of build in order. I tried to figure out the upstairs layout for a while, forgetting that I'd said that I would give my father in this situation an office, so I gave him like a bathroom. So this house would have 2 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, which I thought was a lot. I really struggled with the windows on this. I will give the dad an office later, don't worry. You'll watch me struggle with the windows for like 10 straight minutes. I really struggled with the windows and then noticed that the roofs were weird, so I had to fix those, and I'm going back in. I originally didn't want to put any windows on the sides, and then I figured that the house needed more light. But you will see me struggle with the windows for like 10 minutes. I understand now why Lil Simsy streams these first and then speeds them up and voices them over. I think it's genuinely smart that she does that. I just don't have the energy to stream, honestly. So yeah, I really liked this house. I liked building for a purpose. I really like building for a purpose. It's kind of what I do. I don't like just building houses, because then I feel like I end up not knowing what to include. Like, the way some people just include a skill building item. I'm like, but what skill building items are they going to need? Because every sim is different. for what they're going to need, and every sim family is different for what they're going to need. You know, an astronaut will need a chess table and some gym equipment, but I'm trying to think, an art critic or an artist might need an easel, and a writer definitely needs a computer. I try and put computers in every build because pretty much every sim needs a computer. This is me trying to figure out how to make the bathroom situation work, and then suddenly remembering that I was going to give him an office. And then trying to figure out the weird thing with the stairs, because it has like a weird bump out. But I made it work. I just made it into the little entryway for the office. I really struggled with furnishing the dad's bedroom and everything, because that's the thing about adult bedrooms, is they are just for beds. Like, kids' bedrooms have all sorts of stuff in them, and you can have a lot of fun furnishing them. But adult bedrooms are just bed, like a bed and somewhere to store some of your stuff. Like, they're not... Kind of, the adults have the rest of the house to play with and decorate and make their own, but the kid has one space to themselves, and I think it's a lot more interesting to furnish that space than to furnish, like, all of the functional spaces that the adults have to play with. I really struggled with his dresser. Like, I had an idea in my head of what I wanted, and it wasn't any of this. The same with the mirror. This is where I figure out that sizing up mirrors doesn't work in The Sims 4. Like, I was trying to figure out a mirror that didn't just look sad. Like, I didn't want the long, thin ones, because I wanted one that was a little bit longer, like a little bit longer portrait-wise. A little bit, less squat, and a little bit, you know, taller. Taller is a better word for that. And I just finished the office fairly simply. I didn't think I wanted laundry on this lot, and then I ended up putting laundry on this lot. I didn't put any hampers, and I discovered this after finishing the build, and I didn't give them an outdoor trash can either, an outdoor bin. I also really struggled with furnishing this room for a while, and then I remembered a TikTok that I saw. There's this guy on TikTok that talks about, like, layouts for rooms, and it was like a long, thin room shouldn't... Your natural reaction when you have a long, thin room is to put everything along the walls, but what you should actually do, if you have the space for it, is try and put stuff at the beginning and end of the room to try and narrow it, like try and squish it down a bit, make it look a bit less long and thin. So that's what I did with that sink in there. Okay, this is the kids' room. I tried to make it a little bit less, you know, traditionally boy, because one thing about The Sims, they have, like, great, or at least from my perspective, pretty good trans representation. Like, you can have them use a certain pronoun, but have them present in different ways and in different stages, and I love that. Like, you can change whether or not they can get someone else pregnant, or whether or not they can pee standing up, all of that jazz. But the thing is, you have to pick a set of pronouns. You can't make them use they. They have to be either a he or she. Like, I wanted to play a round of University where I had a non-binary sim, and I kind of wanted to play like that. Even though it doesn't change much, it just, I made them presenting non-binary, like presenting sort of androgynous. But you had to pick, like, it said she in all the dialogues, and it really got to me. It kind of irritated me. I don't know why. Oh, I gave our little boy a unicorn, just because I feel like that's something that I would do with my own kids, if that makes sense. And also, like, being artsy, the kid would probably end up doing that little art ambition. I tried to make a big step down with a lower platform, and I couldn't figure out how to make a lower platform. Anyway, with the art ambition, the creativity ambition, I needed to make sure that he had an activity table and lots of options for toys and a violin, because that's what you need when you're doing that aspiration. This was me realizing that the lot was not central. So I had to center the build on the lot, and then I got to do the garden. So I wanted him to have, like, kind of two sides to the garden. I mean, just messing with how the garden looks. I kind of wanted him to have two sides to the garden, to have, like, obviously the bit where the dad gardens, because that was a part of his, like, aspiration. and I was playing with where to put everything. So like I was kind of messing with this and I decided I wanted a patio, and I could have done it with terrain paint, but I kind of like doing it with flooring. I think it looks like a real patio that you would have. I don't know if I like the 100% love the placement of the patio with like the stairs there, but I think it looks a little too square. I would have liked it to flow better. I also gave him a bar outside, which feels right for this guy. Like, if he entertains his friends a lot, like his techie friends, they come over and there's a bar. Like, there's a lot of little details in this house. It's up on the gallery if anyone wants to download it. The nickname is Kecolv, just Kecolv. Kecolv. I'll be able to spell my own nickname someday. But I tried to put in a fair few little details in this house, like the kid being a tech guru, or like being the son of a tech guru and being quite techie, has one of those little robot toys on its desk. I tried to put plants and like a one wide bookshelf in that hallway to try and make it look a little bit less empty, but it still feels empty. If anyone knows what to do with a space like that, where it like needs to be a thoroughfare, but it like feels really empty, let me know. Like I really did not know what to put there. Like I tried to put like some little details and clutter around the house, like the backpack leans against the desk as if he's like dumped it when he comes back from school. That was really fun. Like he's got some art stuff on the floor next to the activity table. I tried to put a fair amount of like clutter in the bathrooms, because I feel like you do like accumulate clutter in the bathrooms. So with the build pretty much done, I'm gonna draw tomorrow's video like this, just over voice, because I took my makeup off a long time ago. You can hear the box there. And I'm going to draw this one, which is how I wrote the music for 4 days. So I wrote a musical with a friend of mine. It is currently on the YouTube page for Sterling Musical Theatre, and I wrote all of the music. So I just thought I'd run through like the process of how I wrote a couple of the songs, and I hope that that's something you guys will be interested in. I'll see you tomorrow for that, and happy VEDIM!